Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey credit card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive a few free stocks in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Webull will be sending you a few free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000 or whatever other promo they have going on at that point in time. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey credit card. This is the latest credit card by Wells Fargo, but we're going to be discussing points and how you can earn them with this card. So starting out, you will be earning 5 points per dollar spent at hotels, 4 points per dollar spent on airlines, then 3 points per dollar spent on restaurants and other travel, and then on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 point per dollar spent. Now with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months of having this card, that's right around $1,333 per month, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 60,000 points. That's going to be worth right around $600 of travel. Now, as far as redeeming your points, you will have a few different options. You can choose to redeem them for purchases, you can use them to pay with rewards, you can use them to redeem for gift cards, and a whole lot more. Now, with this card, there are also some other benefits that you'll also have to keep in mind as well. So just for an example, you will be receiving a $50 annual statement credit with a minimum $50 airline purchase each and every year. You're also going to be receiving worldwide automatic common carrier travel accident insurance. So you'll be getting travel accident insurance protection of up to $1 million when you purchase your airline or other common carrier ticket with your eligible card. You're also going to be receiving lost baggage reimbursement. So you can receive up to $3,000 in luggage reimbursement per trip if your bags are lost due to theft or misdirection by a common carrier while traveling. You're also going to be receiving trip cancellation and interruption and protection, so you can get reimbursed up to $15,000 for lodging, flights, and activities if the trip is canceled for a covered reason. You're also going to be receiving auto rental collision damage waiver, so you can't get reimbursed for covered damage or theft as long as you pay for your rental car with this credit card. Then you're also going to be receiving travel and emergency services assistance as well. With this card, you're also going to be receiving some protection benefits also. So you're going to be receiving cellular telephone protection, which is going to get you up to $1,000 of cell phone protection against damage, theft, or unintended separation. This is going to be subject to a $25 deduction though. You're also going to be receiving roadside dispatch, emergency cash disbursement, and card replacement. And then you're also going to be receiving zero liability protection as well, which means that if you lose your card or someone steals it and then goes out to a store and spends hundreds or even thousands of dollars with it, whether it's at the retail store physically or even online, you are not going to be held liable to pay for those transactions because you did not authorize them. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be either 21.24, 26.24, or 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, your balance transfer APR starting out is either going to be 21.24, 26.24, or 29.99%. Plus, there's going to be some fees associated with that as well. But since they don't have like an introductory offer right now of 0%, at least on their website, they might offer you that later down the line, maybe within the first few months of having the card. It really wouldn't make that much sense to do a balance transfer, because even at the lowest amount at 21.24%, you're still going to be paying a lot of interest. So more than likely, that's not going to be all that worth it for you. Now, as far as cash advances go, on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually there's a very high interest rate with cash advances, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to do a cash advance with this card, just know that your interest rate on them, it's going to be a whopping 29.99%. Plus, you're going to be paying some fees as well, which we are going to be diving into right now. So as far as the fees go on the cash advances, starting out your fee on each cash advance is either going to be $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as balance transfers go, even though like I mentioned just a moment ago, it's probably not going to be that worth it to do a balance transfer starting out unless later down the line they offer you something like a 0% introductory APR on them. If you do decide to do a balance transfer, the fee on those is going to be an introductory fee of $5 or 3%, whichever happens to be greater. If you perform the balance transfer within the first 120 days from your account opening, however, if you perform it after the first 120 days, it's going to be a 5% fee with a minimum of at least $5. Now, as far as foreign transaction fees go, this is good news because this card does not issue a foreign transaction fee. Many other credit cards out there in the market, you'll see a foreign transaction fee of like 3%. So if you happen to travel internationally with those cards, you're going to pay what you would normally pay plus an additional 3%. With this card, there are no foreign transaction fees, so that is definitely a good thing. However, there is going to be a late payment fee of up to $40, so I would definitely recommend setting up auto pay, marking your calendar, do whatever you have to do, make sure that you are paying on time. That way you do not have to pay that $40 fee. And perhaps if you pay late for the first time, maybe even second time, you could always try calling into Wells Fargo to see if they will waive that fee for a first or even second time convenience. Sometimes they will for the first or even second time, but I definitely wouldn't risk it. So I would definitely recommend perhaps setting up auto pay, marking your calendars, or do whatever works best for you to make sure that you are not having to pay late and therefore having to pay the $40 fee. And then finally, as far as the annual fee goes, every single year there is going to be an annual fee of $95. So that is something you'll definitely have to keep in mind. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this card. So we're going to start out with the good things. So the first good thing, of course, is the fact that you can earn those 60,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend $4,000 within the first 3 months of having this card. Now, for some people, this might be something easy to achieve. For others, it might be more difficult. Again, that's going to be right around $1,333 per month in spend. So depending on whether or not that's difficult or easy, might make this card more worthwhile for some people or less worthwhile for others. Also, you can earn a lot of points with this card. So again, you can earn 5 points per dollar spent at hotels, 4 points per dollar spent at airlines, 3 points per dollar spent on restaurants and other travel. So you can definitely rack up a lot of points with this card. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving the $50 annual statement credit as long as you purchase at least $50 or more on airline transactions. So again, those are the good things about this card. As far as the drawbacks go, first off, of course, the first drawback is the fact that you are going to have to pay that $95 annual fee. So every single year when you have that coming up, you're going to have to sit around and consider whether or not paying $95 is worth it for this card compared to the benefits that you're taking in. Are you going to get enough benefits with this card to make paying $95 every single year worth it? That's going to be completely up to you. Also, another drawback with this card is that on gas, groceries, and every other day spending, not in those 5, 4, or 3 points per dollar spent categories, you're only going to be earning 1 point per dollar spent. So you're going to be losing a lot of points. You're going to be leaving a lot of points in cash back on the table here by only getting 1 point per dollar spent on gas and groceries. So you might want to consider using another credit card for gas, groceries, and every other day spending, things like that. And then also with this card, you're not going to be receiving like a lounge pass, like a priority pass, or any other elite travel benefits with this card, so it's definitely a letdown as well. But just to sum this card up, all in all, I would say for the first year loan, just the fact that you can receive these 60,000 bonus points, as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months, is probably going to make this card worth it, plus the $50 annual statement credit, as long as you purchase at least $50 in airline tickets. It's going to make this card worth it. You're definitely getting a lot of value, at least in the first year loan. But as far as the second year moving forward, you're only going to be getting the $50 credit for airline travel, but you have to pay the $95 annual fee. So for a lot of people, you might see a deficit there and not see this card as a keeper card for the second, third, and fourth year moving forward. But at the end of the day, that's definitely going to be up to you. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.